Hey, it's Melissa. Welcome to my $100,000 stock experiment, year 3, week 39, ending January 8th, 2021. This isn't an endorsement to purchase any stocks that I've bought, nor an endorsement to purchase stocks in general. I'm on a mission to become a great growth stock investor, and I'm letting you watch me on my journey. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and celebrate my successes. According to the IBD at investors.com, the market is in a confirmed uptrend, which means it's a good time to be buying stocks that are setting up nicely. The S&P 500 index had a nice week. It was up 1.8% for the week. Monday was ugly, but it recovered on Tuesday and climbed the rest of the week. The 50-day, 150-day, and 200-day simple moving averages are all moving up. The one concern that I have is the wide daily price swings. You can see the larger swings by the tall price bars. At number 1, you can see short bars. Those I like. And at number 2, you can see the bars are very tall. I downloaded the historical daily price for the S&P 500 from Yahoo Finance, and then I added a couple formulas. I like the high-low swing to be under 1%. Between 1% and 2%, I code it yellow, which is a cause for concern, and above 2% is that pink-red for caution. This last week that I'm showing in that red box, we had concern and caution, all yellow and pink boxes. The previous 2 trading weeks, shown in the green, had all daily price swings under 1%. I purchased 5 new stocks this week, and I made some add-on buys. Every time I purchase a stock, I put a stop limit order as my floor, initially at 8% below my purchase price, but I look for a spot above that 8% for a better floor if possible. Corsair Gaming, stock symbol CRSR. I bought this stock on Wednesday. It showed up on my tweaked screen, and it had nice above average volume that day. You can tell this is an IPO stock because the 6-month chart is only showing data back to September 23rd when this went public. I like the triple-digit % gains on the earnings per share, and the last 4 quarters had double-digit sales growth. Corsair Gaming is a competitor of Logitech, and I did leave my floor at 8% on this stock. I've held it for 3 days, and I've lost 0.1% or $5. Lithium Americas, stock symbol LAC. I bought this stock on Friday. It's called Lithium Americas Corp, but it's based in Canada and has 2 lithium projects, one in Nevada and the other in Argentina, so not sure I get the name. It's up 50% for the week, but I only have a 1.4% gain. I bought it slightly extended. It's risky because it's had huge price moves and I could easily get bounced out at my 8%, but I'm going to give it a try. I found this stock on my Tandem over $14 screen. On my tweak screen, it has 7 out of 8. It missed on the earnings per share rating, which is only a 17, and my screen looks for a 75 or greater. It's hard to see down in this volume section, but down at number 1, that purplish blue line, the average daily volume is increasing. I've held this stock just the 1 day and it's up 1.4%. I review my charts every week. Retractable Technologies Inc., stock symbol RVP. If you've been watching my videos, you know this is my mistake stock and I should have already sold. RVP is up 5% for the week, but I still have big losses in my B1 and my B2, and I still haven't set my floor. My B1 I've held just under 4 weeks, and I have a loss of 15.5%, and my B2 I've held for 3.5 weeks, and I have a loss of 17%. I like to add to positions as stocks prove themselves. Pool Corp, stock symbol POOL. I bought Pool on Thursday at the end of the day. It was a quick decision to buy this stock. Pool was on the breaking out today list, and I've owned the stock earlier in the year. It had 7 out of 8 on my tweak screen. The RS was only 78, where I want it to be greater than or equal to 95. It's a cup with handle base, and volume was picking up at the end of the day. And I added to this on Friday. I did raise my floor up to that 31-day exponential moving average. My B1 I've held for 2 days and I'm up 1.3%, and my B2 I've held for 1 day and I'm down 1.3%. Logitech International, stock symbol LOGI. I bought Logitech on Monday. It just crossed the century mark at 100, and I like when stocks do that. It was in the top range of the pivot, and it had 133% volume on that day. Logitech had a 7 out of 8 on my tweaked screen. It missed on the relative strength, which is 86, not 95. And I wanted to make a B2 in this stock, but I didn't have enough money. I only had enough for a B3, which is a $4,000 add-on. So this stock, I have a B1 and a B3. I did raise my floor up to the 31-day exponential moving average on my B1. My B1 I've held for 5 days and I'm up 4.8%, and my B2 I've held for 1 day and I'm down 0.3%. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, stock symbol TSM. I also added to TSM this week, like I planned to. TSM had a really nice week until Friday. On Friday it tried to make a move, but then it pulled back. It's still up almost 9% for the week, even after Friday's bad action. I did raise my floor to the 16-day simple moving average at 108.86. I have 3 buys in TSM. My B1 I've held for 9 weeks and I'm up 29.4%. My B2 I've held for 4 weeks and I'm up 13.8%. And my B3 I've held for 4 days and I'm up 5.1%. Don't let a double-digit gain turn into a loss. Yeti Holdings, stock symbol YETI. Last week, Yeti was down 6% for the week, and I was wondering if it would pop back. It did. It was up over 7% for the week, up 6 days in a row and near all-time high. I did raise my floor up to that 8-day simple moving average at 70.11. This is a tight floor and is likely to trigger, but I've held this stock for almost 8 weeks and I'd be exiting with a 20% gain. My B1 I've held 7.6 weeks and I'm up 26.5%. My B2 I've held for 6 weeks and I'm up 16.5%. And my B3 I've held for 4 weeks and I'm up 4.7%. Roku Inc., stock symbol ROKU. Last week, Roku had closed below the 16-day simple moving average and had 5 down days in a row. I said if it couldn't hold 332, then it might be time to sell. Roku had a big drop on Monday, but was up the rest of the week. It closed the week 20% up and just under $400. I did move my floor up to the 16-day simple moving average. I have 3 buys in Roku. My B1 I've held for 8.5 weeks and I'm up 71.5%. My B2 I've held just under 7 weeks and I'm up 45%. And my B3 I've held for 5 weeks and I'm up 37.7%. Tesla Inc., stock symbol TSLA. Even more amazing than Roku's 20% gain for the week is Tesla's 24% gain for this week. Last week it closed at 705 and I was wondering if it could hold 700. Well, it zipped right past the 700s and closed the week at 880. I raised my floor to the 8-day simple moving average for all 3 buys at 747.92. When I look at this chart, it makes me think of the pattern that NVIDIA is in right now. I want to keep an eye on NVIDIA and buy it when it finally breaks out of its pattern. I have 3 buys in Tesla. My B1 I've held for 8.5 weeks and I'm up almost 110%. My B2 I've held for 7.5 weeks and I'm up 75.6%. And my B3 I've held for 6 weeks and I'm up 52%. I did sell 3 stocks this week: Amazon, NEO, and SI. Silvergate Capital Group. I held this stock for just 1 day and I lost my 8%. I bought it and then in a blink of an eye, lost $800 and out I went. But I do love this chart. 1, because it's going up, up, up. You can see that at number 1. And 2, because it's increasing volume. You can see down at number 2, it had consistent volume for several months, and then at number 3, it started increasing. It's a super volatile stock, so I'd have to pick the correct entry point if I'm going to buy it again. Maybe I should sell my RVP and buy this back. I bought this stock because I had a position in another account that I purchased on 12/17, and it's had a 50% gain in 3.5 weeks. I found out about this stock in an IBD meetup. Jason from Ticker Monkey mentioned it, and I took a look at the chart and I liked it, so I bought it. Amazon.com, stock symbol AMZN. Amazon triggered a sell on Wednesday. I held this for a week and a half and I lost 4.4%. NeoGenomics, stock symbol NEO. I wasn't expecting Neo to sell, but it triggered a floor on a gap down when it announced a secondary offering, which to me is like printing more money or printing more stock. I had 3 buys in Neo. My B1 I held for 7 weeks and I had a 17.5% gain. My B2 I held for 6.5 weeks and I had a 9.7% gain. And a B3 I held for 5.4 weeks and I had a 6% gain. The current holding bar chart shows 1 bar for each week or portion of a week that I've held the stock. This is just for my initial $10,000 B1 purchase, and it shows the growth or the loss in each stock. In the middle in the teal, you can see Tesla is screaming. My $10,000 has grown to $20,944, and I've held it for 9 weeks. Over on the left-hand side, you can see 1 bar each for Corsair Gaming, LIC, Logitech, and Pool Corp. The gray in the middle is all below my 8% floor at 9,200. That's RVP. It's climbed back to where it was my first week, but it still has more than an 8% loss and technically should not be in my portfolio. This is my current dollar value gain, sorted with the lowest value on the top. The 2 stocks that I have a loss in are RVP and Corsair Gaming. I sort with the lowest value on the top so I can get rid of those stocks that aren't performing and let the ones that are performing keep moving up, hopefully. The weekly percentage change for each stock is also sorted with the lowest value on the top. If I've only held the stock for 1 week or portion of a week, the percentage shown is since my purchase, not the entire week for the stock, but just since my purchase price. Corsair Gaming is the only stock that was down this week, 0.1% since I purchased it. And down at the bottom, you can see we already talked about these 2, Roku 20% and Tesla 24%. Crazy. After 2 years and 39 weeks, my benchmark shows that my $100,000 has grown to $180,801 versus the S&P 500 for the same time frame has grown to $143,985. I like to look at where my changes came from week to week. So from last week to this week, my current holdings gained $16,000. Stocks that I held last week and sold this week lost $2,000. And my new purchases, I have a gain in all of my new purchases, including the one I sold, of $72. I think I had a spectacular week. Tesla and Roku were big contributors to my success this week. Tesla was up over $7,000 from last week to this week across my 3 buys, and Roku across the 3 buys from last week to this week was up over $5,000. The weekly change for the S&P 500 is circled down in blue over on the left-hand side. It's up 1.8% for the first week of 2021 versus the Melissa method that is up 8.4% for the week. That's over on the right-hand side. My stock experiment started in mid-April. So year 3, the S&P 500 is up 37.1% since mid-April versus the Melissa method circled in the yellow down at the bottom for the same time frame is up 24.5%. So the S&P 500 is beating me but I'm gaining quickly. The industry breakdown shows that I'm most heavily weighted in leisure and auto, followed by nearly equal amounts in computers and chip stocks. The circle represents the number of buys in a stock. I have 3 buys each in Roku, Yeti, Tesla, and TSM, 2 buys in Pool and RVP, and in Logitech I put a 1 and a 3 because I didn't make a B2, but I have a B1 and a B3 in Logitech. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for my next episode, or better yet, subscribe to my channel, The Melissa Method. Don't forget to hit the bell if you want an alert when I post a new episode.